and Merry Christmas to you. Happy New Year's. We kick into this holiday edition of Killer Miller Q, and I wanted to make sure I dropped something in here to show you some of these holiday hacks and some of these deals that's out here. So right now you're looking at a very large piece of meat and the Grinch, okay? I just want to let you know what we're doing, how we doing it. But I got a big hand just to give you an idea. This is a huge piece of meat, nearly 9 pounds I have here, 8.86 to be exact. But this is the big kicker. Look at this deal right here. This is at my local grocery stores at Fry's. So on the Midwest, where I used to shop at, it would have been Kroger's. But $5.77 a pound for this rib roast. This goes on sale every year. Always somewhere between $5 and $6. Surprisingly, that hasn't went up over the years. And you cannot beat this. This is nothing but a giant ribeye, ladies and gentlemen. This is exactly where they cut your ribeye steaks from. Normally, people are probably walking into the grocery store after work, deciding to grab a steak, assuming it's at a good price because it's $10 or less or something around there, getting less than a pound of meat, probably paying something like $13 something a pound if you look at it. But most people don't pay that much attention. They just look at how much they're paying in general. This one here, I can already tell, has some pretty decent looking marbling in here. This is a choice ribeye. Got your cap, not a whole lot of spinalis on this side, but I definitely can see a lot of the marbling and everything. And then this one where you do get your outside, check out that marbling there. This big piece of meat here, like I said, was 9 pounds. I paid just a little over $50 for it at the end of the day. $52. What we're going to be doing today, obviously this could be your prime rib for the holidays. I'm keeping it pretty light and easy. We just want some steaks, and I'm about to be getting a whole bunch of steaks. So if nothing else, you should run to the store. This will probably be on sale through the weekend. Grab you one of these, throw it in the freezer. You could at least chop this down, get yourself some steaks out of here, have you some ribeyes in the freezer already and ready to go, or obviously grill them things up and enjoy some of that. Or you can do a half and a half move. So basically what I'm going to be doing is I'm going to get this baby out the package. The other thing that we always forget about is there is some bones at the bottom. That is our beef backbone. Right, that is our beef fingers, which we have cooked before. They've already took the liberty of cutting these off, and then what they do is they use the butcher twine to pretty much put them back on. I'm gonna take them off, and we're gonna actually get that as a bonus. So not only are we gonna get about probably somewhere between 8 to 10 steaks out of this baby that are thick, we also gonna get a little bit of beef ribs on the side to also enjoy for the day. We're just gonna be having a couple big fat steaks. The beef ribs gonna be a little treat for me. I'm gonna vacuum seal up the rest. Let's get it out the package. We out the package if you can't tell, but I wanted to bring you in here just so you could check this out. If this is a choice, I tell you what, primes ain't always primes. This is pretty damn decent when you're looking at the amount of marbling in here and what you're going to get from this one. Hey, for the amount that I'm saving off of this compared to what I saw in Costco, which was around $13.49 a pound, and I'm looking at $5.77 a pound, it's probably not that much better as far as the marbling, even though I'm sure the meat might be a little better. Normally, if I was doing this as a straight roast, I might get rid of some of this fat just so I could be more or less in contact with my meat, but being that I'm using this as steaks, I want my little bit of fat that we're going to have on there. I did take the butcher twine off, so like I said, you can see where you got those beef ribs, that beef back rib down there. And a lot of times people always say there ain't no meat on the beef back rib. Well, normally they're cutting it super tight because it's ribeye meat sitting on top, and they don't really want to get rid of too much of that, but I actually feel like that's a decent amount. This being the bonus, that's going to be some damn good eating. Check out the marbling on that. Uh-oh, somebody over there getting after it. Check out the marbling on that beef back rib. That might be the star of the show, and I didn't even know. But let's open them up some more. I got that all the way apart. Man, I am really impressed with how good this looks as far as the marbling. Just something that I'll kind of break down for you before I jump in here and start cutting up these steaks. Obviously, you can cut to any width that you want. I'm probably going to be going for some nice 1-inch daddies or something like that. This side right here, like I was saying, really doesn't have that spinalis on the outside that everybody loves when you talk about a ribeye that you see right here on this side, the cap. Right? I might have said that wrong. Might not be the spinalis, the cap, whatever. It didn't have that on this side. So if I was going to be making a roast, sometimes you'll get these and they could be a lot bigger. I would start cutting my steaks from this side. So that way you get your nice pretty ribs. Or I'm sorry, your nice pretty steaks. with the nice ribeye cap on there that everyone loves. And then this side would end up being the side that I end up using for the roast. So I would cut, choop, 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 stop, leave whatever for the roast, and then that side will be what I'm gonna use for the roast because it doesn't really matter. However, for me, all of these getting chopped up. And I'm using my handy dandy new favorite knife, my little boning knife that I grabbed from the Bearded Butchers. That's a Victorinox. Make short work of anything. I got my first cut. Let's check it out together. You tell me that ain't a pretty steak right there. I'd say that's close to an inch, or what it's gonna be for me. There's one. And here we have it. $52 worth of meat. Obviously, you can tell I cut some nice fat steaks, so I ended up with 8 full steaks. I got my beef back ribs here, which they actually left a decent amount of meat on here because we really don't see the bones, so that's a good thing. And then I got this one right here. This is actually steak number 9, but you can see this was the one that came off of that butt. It's obviously not as thick, but I got some ideas for this one. This will probably be something that I'm gonna actually take over to my griddle, end up chopping this thing down, and end up making an easy steak sandwich. Or, I mean, if I want to just do a quick little breakfast steak on the griddle or something like that, this one's not that thick, so it could probably get done pretty fast. A little personal, you know what I'm saying? I ain't too mad at that. But overall, this is the product, right? 2 of these is finna get cooked. The rest of these are gonna be vacuum sealed and put away, along with my friend right here. I only wanted to bring you back to show you the breakdown of what this actually comes out to as far as meat. Like I said, this was almost 9 pounds. And then with that said, this was $52 worth of meat. So I mean, if I went to one of my nicer steakhouses, I'd get one steak, roughly 16, 18 ounces. And it would probably cost me about 50 bucks. To think that I'm getting this grade of meat, come on, do the math. Think about the family. Think about your long term. This is your time where you can come up and get yourself ready. All right, let me start the vacuum sealing process. We're gonna go ahead and get some of these seasoned up, put to the side. The cook gonna be nice and easy. All right, so we're gonna go back in the house in just a minute, take care of the vacuum sealing, but I wanna get everything kind of seasoned up and worked up. Man, again, check out the quality that we're talking about right there. You know, take your time, pick a good one. All choices are not made or not the same, you know, as far as quality. I think that this is much better than a choice, and I've had primes that don't look this marble, to be honest with you. So really take the time and look at the meat that you're choosing, right? As far as seasoning, this is what we're going to be doing. Pretty simple. Pretty much still going no binder on my beef rib. They're going to obviously take a little bit longer. We want to get those nice and tender, and we'll be going up to around 205-ish. So they're going to take a while. Obviously, these steaks are going to be quick, fast, and easy. I just want to get them seasoned up and let some of that seasoning and everything kind of mix in there with them. I don't think that I've actually used this in quite a while, but got my hands on some of this old Uncle Chris's steak seasoning, which I actually really like. A lot of good notes in here, a lot of good flavors, and it's also one that's got a little bit of a crust to it, so I think it'll be great for this steak. All I'm gonna be doing is just using some basic cooking oil, coming right over the top of those steaks lightly, and then a little bit of Uncle Chris's on both sides, and I'm just gonna let them hang out. And as far as for my beef rib, I'm not using any binder on that. And I'm using the old Brock Lesnar's blend from Bearded Butchers, or these days I believe this is actually just called their bold seasoning. This is one that I believe was initially made more or less for a steak, but I think it's going to do damn good on these beef ribs right here as well. So let's get everybody seasoned up. I'm going to let this hang out. We'll go inside. We'll do a little bit of vacuum sealing. And we ready to rock. Both of these babies are seasoned up, or should I say all 3 of these babies are seasoned up. Look at these pretty steaks with a little bit of oil on there and some of this Fiesta Uncle Chris's steak seasoning. And then, like I told you, we got the bonus to throw in. The beef back ribs that we added some of Bearded Butcher's Brock Lesnar blend on. We're going to let these hang out. We're about to go back in the house, take care of a little business. We'll stoke this fire and we'll get cooking. Okay, just finishing up the last pack. I pretty much broke these up into 2 big ribeyes. And we got 3 packs in here that I'm just kind of throwing here into a bigger Ziploc bag after being vacuum sealed, along with that 1 single that I had as well. These babies is ready for the freezer. There we go, nice and screaming. Charcoal is doing good by Cowboy, producing that good smoke. And these babies have had good enough time to sit out here and sweat it out with the top on. Let's let them get a nice sear right over that old fire. We get a little color on them, and then we're gonna slide them over and let them go indirect. Let me close it up. And hopefully we can see if we can get us a good view here, and I can do this right and take a little peek, see what I'm looking like up under here. Okay, I'm still safe. Got the flame kicking up with that fat dropping down. I'm gonna close this baby up and chill out this flame. Oh yeah, we cooking with fire. Went ahead and gave him a rotation. Here's that one that was over the flame. So you can see what that flame was able to give us, a little love, a little kiss. We're working on giving this some of the same. Let's get it moved. Ooh-wee. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Let's get it up out of there. I've already taken the liberty popping that middle plate out, scooting my coal baskets over to the side now, and just like that, we cooking indirect, ladies and gentlemen. Right? So we've thrown our meat in the middle, so it's no longer directly under the fire, and now it's just about getting this baby to about where you want it to be. I can tell you what, super tender. It's kind of giving you a quick little check. Make sure you don't poke all the way through and hit your grate. But it's at 110, 115, so this would be like a rare for somebody if I'm not mistaken. Check out my fat one. It's a little higher. A lot of people will yank that right there. And this ain't too far from where I'm gonna take mine. I'm gonna give it a little more love, slightly. But that one right there, he about ready. And plus you gotta keep thinking that these are going to keep cooking a little bit more with your carryover. So I'm gonna close it down for a second. We coming for him real fast, and we'll get this kick up out of here. Okay, so it's been a few minutes, and it's about time to probably get these babies up off of here. One thing that's nice about the searing up front, I get the color I'm looking for and not a tinge more. Got me a little bit of grill lines, I got me a little bit of that, but I mean you can see the juice coming up off of here, and they literally are just almost falling apart. I'm thinking the one in the back should be about where I like mine, which for me, I'm around a 150 guy, which I'm sure a lot of people is just hating me for, but that's what I like. I mean, that's what I like. That's probably close to a medium well-ish. Medium to medium well. Yeah, these about ready to come on up off of here. Love it. Check it out. Obviously, if you're looking for something less, you got your sear up front. Maybe you pulling at 125 and letting it rest, or whatever you do. Here is a close-up off the grill. Nice redness, lots of good fat. I'm about to go let these hang out for about 5 minutes first, and then we're gonna bite into them. Ooh, look at that juice running up off of there. Those are hanging out in the microwave. We're gonna grab these beef back ribs that's been hanging out and slide y'all right there in the middle, and we're gonna let y'all do y'all thing. I've waited long enough. It's about time we dive into this ribeye. Looking succulent, smelling great. Let me grab me a quick steak knife. This is super juicy. Okay, I had to go for a piece of this cap. That's about where I like it. Like I said, it is definitely giving off a lot of juice. Oh yeah. Okay, so we a little over an hour in. Temperatures done calmed down a little bit, and I can definitely tell that our ribs are coming along, getting us a little bit of color. Just out of curiosity, I'm just getting an idea where we at. Okay. They definitely still feel nice and tight, but you can start to see some of them bones showing themselves. I'm not gonna worry about it too much. We're gonna leave it as is. So we at about an hour and a half. Still holding on with some decent temperature. I'm about to probably be at the point where I'm gonna either have to add some more charcoal, or Charcoal's just about done, so I'm gonna be combining this into one basket, but I want to take my temps. I can obviously see that there's some areas of fat that haven't completely rendered, but I am gonna wrap this thing up because I don't want it to cook to take forever. But out of curiosity, let me grab my pen and let's check in between these bones. A little more tender, still not quite where I want to be. I like that though. 192. We'll say another 15 degrees or so. Let's grab some, I'm going aluminum foil and a little bit of tallow. And here's a little bit better look at this thing in the light. Beautiful red color, so I can see that cowboy charcoal has gotten some good smoke in there. And you can see them bits of herbs and spices coming in there from that Brock Lester. We're gonna see how this come out. Got me a little bit of tallow. Let me get this thing face down on that. And then what I was able to get on my hands tastes great. So seasoning wise, I'm feeling good. I'm just gonna add just a little bit of tallow to the back. And now let's wrap this thing up nice and tight. Obviously, like you see, I went with aluminum foil, double wrapped. And just like that, our care package is ready to go. So we're going meat side down. We got all the coals over to one side now, and I added me a couple extra ones on there just for safekeeping. So I'm just gonna let this thing hang out right there. And we're gonna go ahead and let this thing open up and finish out. 2.5 hours in, simmering down to a slow roar. These babies is ready to come up off of here. Moment of truth back in the house. Nearly burnt my hand off. We dripping lots of tallow, so that's a good sign. I didn't add that much to it, so that means that it also gave me some more rendering action. I can definitely see my bones popping out. That does feel a lot more tender. Okay. I like it. I'm about to let this hang out right where it's at. We'll slice it up and give it a taste. This has had a good amount of time to kind of chill out, but it is still nice and warm. Let us, oh, it's juicy. Get this to the cutting board. One quick look before I go ahead and put a knife to this baby. Smelling amazing, and I have tasted some of the juice and the tallow. Flavoring is on point. I think this is going to be a winner. Ooh. Still too hot to bite into, but man, I tell you what, that's me. Little nublet. It's tender. You see, I can just pull it away. Oh, it's got some flavor. Wow. Look at that color. Juicy. I'm gonna give it a little bit longer, then I can actually get a real bite. Now I feel like I'm about ready to rock and roll. Since I didn't already, oh yeah, and you got all that extra meat hanging. Look at all of that juice. This baby is moist to say the least. Definitely a lot more meaty than the normal beef back rib that I get when they've literally packaged it as a beef back rib compared to what was left on that bone being on the actual ribeye roast. This right here is pretty meaty, actually. Let's get a taste. And that's a wrap. I tell you what, you should be running out to your local grocery store today to see if one of those sales are still going on, to be able to get that ribeye at that price or that ribeye roast at that price. That was damn near prime type grade material right there. And at the end of the day, it came out phenomenal, and I was able to put up quite a bit of steaks for another rainy day. Ended up with roughly about 9 steaks, each one of them about 1 inch a piece, and along with an extra beef back ribs to go. You can't beat that for 52 bucks. Big shout out to my family for coming through as always. You out there in TV land for checking out this video. And anybody else I missed, my boys at Black Smoke Barbecue, Happy New Year to everybody. I'll see you here in about a week.